Hello and welcome to the In Focus series section of Drishti IAS. I am Aisha Singh and in today's video we will be discussing about Bihar caste based survey. So the topic of caste census, the socio-economic caste census always remains in news with respect to the state of Bihar. So today we will be looking into this in detail, that what is caste census. We will be talking about at very basic level what is it, what are the issues related to it, and what is happening in the present scenario. So first of all, about the timeline. First we'll be looking at the news, then about caste data in census, what is SECC 2011, census and SECC, what is the difference between them, what are the challenges related to it, in the end prelims MCQ and a mains practice question. This topic is of relevance from General Studies paper 2, that is government policies and intervention. From exam perspective, you should be able to know first about what is SECC 2011, the most basic things about it, and what is the difference between census and SECC. So let us first look at the news. It has been taken from the Indian Express and the news says Patna High Court upholds Bihar caste based survey, why it was challenged and what the court said. Why it was challenged, what are the reasons that it has been challenged, and what are the limitations that has been raised, that why SECC is not good, why the caste survey is not good, and what has the recently the Patna High Court has said regarding the caste survey. So what has happened is the Patna High Court has upheld the caste based survey. So this time the Patna High Court has said that the caste based survey needs to be worked upon, and whatever is happening and whatever the government is doing, it needs to be done as it is done. Then it has been conducted by the Bihar government, and in the same year, in the month of May, the Patna High Court stayed the caste survey on the grounds that the state was not competent to conduct the caste survey. So what happened was, in the month of May, the Patna High Court said that the caste survey should not be done by the state because they are not competent to do it. But now in this month, that is July end, the Patna High Court is saying that the caste survey needs to be done, and it upholds the caste survey, that whatever the government is doing, they should do it. So earlier the Patna High Court rejected it, but now they are saying that it needs to be done whatever the government is doing. And the aim of the caste survey is to ensure all-round development of all sections of the state. This is what the government is saying, that the all-round development of all sections of the state needs to be done. That is, it means that state is saying that if the caste survey would be done and the results of the caste survey would come out, then whatever is the situation of castes, the different castes and all the castes which are marginalized and are not getting the benefits, they can raise their voice, and the data will prove that which caste needs to be looked upon and the focus should be done on them, and which caste needs help. And that is why they say that ensuring all-round development, it means the development for all sections of the state will be done. Now, how have caste details been collected so far? So till now, what was the procedure and how it has been done is that while the SC/ST details are collected as part of the census. So what happens in India, a census takes place after every 10 years. So it means in one decade a census takes place. So what happens is the details or the population details of the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes is included or is collected under the census. But the census does not talk about the data of the other backward classes. So the details of other castes are not collected by the enumerators or the census. So it talks about the SC/ST details but does not talk about the details of the other caste. And that is the reason why the government in Bihar wants to go for the caste census. And the main method is by self-declaration to the enumerator. So if anyone wants to self-declare about their own caste, they can do that, but the census does not publish the data regarding other castes. And the Backward Classes Commission in various states have been conducting their own counts. So it is the commissions which are conducting their own counts. The government is not doing it, the census is not doing it. So till now, the census talks about the population or the details of the SC/ST community but does not talk about the details of the other backward castes. Now the caste data in census. So census takes place after every 10 years, and earlier it took place in the year 2011, but the census of 2021 cannot take place and cannot happen on time due to the COVID pandemic, and the result of the census has been awaited, and it will take little bit of time more because it was delayed due to the COVID pandemic. So every census in independent India, that is from 1951 to 2011. Independent India means anything which is after 1947. From 1951 to 2011 has published data on scheduled castes and scheduled tribes but not on other castes. So this is the reason that why the different states are also asking for the caste based census, and every census till 1931 had data on caste, but after the independence the data on different backward caste was not included. Before it was done, but after it was not done. Then let us talk about the SECC 2011, that is the socio-economic caste census. Socio-economic caste census. Socio means social, economic means that the people who are not doing well economically, they should also be found out, and their data should also be there. So the socio-economic caste census of 2011 was a major exercise which was done to obtain data about the socio-economic status of various communities. So knowing about the socio-economic status of various communities, like for example we have the EWS, that is the economically weaker section in the unreserved category, that is what do we popularly call as the general category. So we have the economically weaker section, that is the people who are not doing well economically, so they are included in it. So to obtain data about the socio-economic status of various communities, that is why SECC 2011 was done, and it had two components under it. And first component was that there was a survey which was conducted on rural and urban households and ranking of these households based on preset parameters. So the rural and urban household ranking was done. This was the first component. Second component was the caste census. So these two components was included in the SECC 2011. But what happened after that was the result of the first component, that is the ranking of the rural and urban household, it was released, but the caste census, the details of the caste census was not released. So out of the two components, the first component details was released, but the second component details was not released. It means the caste census or the details related to the different communities, different backward castes was not released, and the caste data was not released in the end. Now about census and SECC, are they same or what is the basic difference between them? So what happens is, census is backed by an act, but SECC is not backed by an act. So census provides a portrait of the Indian population and it falls under the Census Act of 1948. So census is done by the central government and it comes under or it falls under the Census Act of 1948. So there is a act, there is a statutory backing for census, and SECC is a tool to identify beneficiaries of state. So different states can do it, but SECC is not done by any kind of act or it is not backed by any kind of act. If different government wants to do it, they can do it on their own. Then if census falls under the Census Act of 1948, then the data of the census is considered to be confidential because of the provision which has been given under the act. So the data is considered to be confidential, and the personal information given in the SECC is open for use by government departments to grant or restrict benefits to household. So the major use of the SECC is done by the government, and the use which it is used very widely is that whenever any kind of policy is launched, then to find out the beneficiaries of the policy, the SECC data becomes very beneficial for the government. Then what are the challenges that has been said, that why the SECC, why the caste survey or the caste data would become problematic? First and foremost is the privacy argument. And as we all know that the right to privacy is a fundamental right under Article 21 of the Indian Constitution. So the point of privacy is the central idea here, because the caste census would contain a lot of information about a person, and it can reveal a lot of information about a person and the people who the person is surrounded with. So that information also becomes very confidential. So it has been said that if the caste census data becomes out or comes out, then the person's identity or the person's information can be at stake. So the right to privacy of those being surveyed will be infringed due to the questions which are being asked regarding their religion, caste, monthly income, etc. So it is saying that the right to privacy is infringed, or the right to privacy might get infringed, and there might be people who do not like it. And then the second point comes is regarding the competence. So the petitioners who have filed petition against that the caste survey should not be done, what they are saying is that it is only the union government who can conduct a census. So the petitioners are saying that it is only the union government which can conduct a census, and they are also saying that entry 69 of the union list contains the center's exclusive power of the center to conduct a census. So apart from the center, no state can conduct a census, and what they are saying is that it is given in the union list. As there are three kind of lists, so first is the union list, then there is a state list, and then there is concurrent list. So these three kind of lists are given in the 7th schedule of the Indian Constitution. So the petitioners are saying that under the union list entry 69, to conduct a census is the exclusive power of the center. It is not that the state can also do it. So these are two of the major challenges which the petitioners who have filed the petition, that the caste data should not be revealed. They are saying that these two are the major problems and these two are the major challenges. But in the end, now that the Patna High Court has said that they uphold the decision, so the government is now eligible from the end of the Patna High Court, that whatever they are doing, they can go ahead with it. Now in the end of prelims MCQ, and you people need to tell me the answer in the comment section. Consider the following statements. First, census is conducted under the provisions of the Census Act 1948. And second, the population census is a union subject under Article 246 of the Indian Constitution. So these are 2 points. We have discussed both the points. Easy one. And you have to talk about the correct statements. Codes are 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, neither 1 nor 2. So try to give me the answer in the comment section. In the end, we will be talking about the mains practice question, and the question is for 150 words. And I am giving you very basic questions so that you at least start your answer writing practice. Why is the socio-economic caste census remains in news? What is the reason that why we keep on hearing this word of socio-economic caste census? And state its positive and negative with respect to a country like India. So first of all, talk about SECC, why it remains in news, few of the examples that why it remains in news, then talk about its positives and negatives, and in the end write a conclusion and a way forward. Question is of 150 marks, so try to do your answer writing practice, and that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Till we meet next time, keep reading and keep writing.